Thunderbird Nation, welcome to the Thunderbirds Coaches Show. As always, head coach Tracy Sanders, along with three guests today, Ashley Banks, Alessa Lord, and Lizzie Williamson. Thank you for spending the time, and especially with this episode being on the road.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
We'll hear from Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen, the sponsor of the show. Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen is a proud sponsor of SU Athletics and has great food, craft cocktails, and is always showing your favorite sports and UFC fights. Warehouse will be hosting a super party on February 12th for the big game. Head over to your local sports bar for prizes, food specials, and more. Warehouse would like to remind everyone to have fun and always drink responsibly. And Coach, first of all, we usually record these episodes in the Thunder 91.1 radio station. Describe the past week and how crazy, these games, have been with postponing and rescheduling and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, to add to that, our flight last night got canceled. So we hopped on a bus at 11 last night and just got into Arlington at 7:15-ish. So they slept. Two of them slept pretty well. I think Ashley struggled a little bit. So they've been napping since we got here. We don't practice till this afternoon. But yeah, we can't control the weather, obviously. Sometimes we can't control travel. And so we're figuring it out. And they've had great attitudes about it. And we played pretty well at Rio Grande Valley. So just excited to see what we can do tomorrow.
Yeah. And, congrats on the win yesterday at UTRGV. Just give your thoughts on that game for a second.
Yeah, I think I actually thought we played pretty well. I mean, I think to open up the second half, especially, we kind of went on a scoring spree there in the third quarter to kind of really take over a lead. And, I'm just proud of kind of how we came out. And I told them after the game too, I am proud of them. It's like we've battled through some adversity, whether it's traveling or whatever it is. We got up at to get to Rio Grande Valley. I mean, we left for Vegas, had to stay the night there because our flight was at 5 something. So we were up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So they've just showed a lot of resiliency. And so I'm just super proud of them. But I thought we played really well. I mean, we had 5 people in double figures. Everybody played a huge impact on the game. So it was a fun game. We haven't had one like that in a while where, we felt like we had the game pretty early.
Yeah, it was a really good game, and I was watching, and I'm like, they're pulling away. We got this. We're going to be 9-0 in conference play. And Coach, question to you: besides the wins and being undefeated, what makes this team so special? And and also what makes it possible to win the WAC championship and just the team chemistry this team has?
Yeah, I do think I think we talked about it last show, but I think part of it is that it took a while to kind of figure out how to come together and play to everybody's strengths and, figure out what we were really good at and what each person brought. And so I think we're starting to see that. I still don't think we've put like 40 minutes together, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. And hopefully, we'll peak towards the end of the season and just be playing our best basketball as the season goes on.
Awesome. And Coach, going back to the postponements and everything, how do you keep the team in a good mindset, especially with, you're supposed to play UT Arlington and then that game gets postponed. So you have to switch to a whole entirely new opponent to study. How do you keep the team, fresh in that mindset?
Yeah, it actually worked out okay. I mean, we were able to take a day off, which was kind of nice. So we had 2 days of practice for Arlington, and then we took a day off. And then we had a good couple of days to prep for Rio Grande Valley. So the timing of it wasn't horrible. I think it actually worked in our favor that we knew a little bit in advance that the game was going to be postponed. So, I feel like we're a step ahead, for our next game because we've already had 2 days to prepare for Arlington. So hopefully we can use today to kind of refresh their brains and be ready to go for tomorrow.
Yeah. This question's to the 3 girls sitting behind you. How do you guys spend your time on the road, especially with all the, flight delays and the charter buses and all that? How do you guys spend your time on the road?
Sleeping. I would say it's a big one. Everyone loves to nap on this team for sure. Homework sometimes Lex does her homework, she's good. I need to do mine.
Yeah, that's the majority of it. Sleep, homework, just kind of hanging out with the team, you know. Nothing too exciting.
Lots of
but
eating.
Lots
Lots
of
of
eating.
eating.
They probably don't feel like we eat that much, but because I don't play anymore, I feel like we're eating nonstop.
Nice. And this question is to Ashley. Why did you choose SU and why does SU feel like home to you?
Definitely the coaching staff and like the girls. Like from the first calls, I like felt a connection and just like a family thing, which is super important to me. And I think it's awesome that it's stayed that way the whole time I've been here. So it's just been awesome so far.
Awesome. Next question to Lizzie. What does your daily schedule look like on the road if it's, traveling down to Utah Tech or flying up to Seattle?
Daily schedule, as we said, just kind of lots of sleeping and eating, but we usually, we'll have like a practice or if it's a game day shoot around and we fit some film in either before or after, sometimes while we're eating, but it's pretty chill, we just like eat, practice on the road, doing what we have to do.
Awesome. Speaking of food, and this could be to coach and basically everyone, what has been your favorite place to eat at on the road so far?
We like the Pizookies from BJ's.
We kind of have an ongoing joke that sometimes when we win a game, we'll say ice cream on Jay. So Coach Jay has to go get ice cream for the girls. So
yeah,
it's this 9-0 has made them eat a lot of ice cream. So it's been fun.
Ice cream is always good. Everyone loves ice cream. I haven't met a person that they don't like ice cream, What has been your favorite opposing venue to visit on the road? So favorite road arena to play at?
like for conference or
just in general, conference, non-conference.
I feel like some of those big schools was really cool just because a lot of those courts are like, kind of iconic and just a really awesome place to say that you've been able to play at. So that's a lot of fun always going there and being able to just say that you've played there and played hard and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought the Oregon was really cool.
Oregon?
Yeah, I agree. Oregon and
yeah. Oregon does have a pretty cool arena. Next question is to Alexa here. If you're talking to a 16-year-old high school recruit, what would you tell them about Tracy and why they should play for her?
Only the good stuff.
I mean, I just think you can't find better coaches than right here. Like Tracy's amazing. She finds that perfect balance of like holding you accountable and like helping you reach your potential, but also like being there for you and caring for you and doing all those little things. So she just finds that perfect balance that I think is so important in a coach.
Excellent.
Coach, where are you having the team focused on going to the second half of WAC conference play? The first half is already behind, team's 9-0. And these next few days, I would kind of like call like the dog days games, where it's kind of like, you have that stretch in baseball where they call them like the dog days of the season. These next 3-4 games are definitely those. What mindset do you have the team in to prepare for that and just try to do their best in conference play?
Right. I think we just need to take care of business every day, not look ahead, just focus on the next game. Because we do have a long stretch ahead of us. We have some tough opponents that we haven't seen yet, that we only play once. So I think we're just trying to take it one game at a time. I think that's all you can do right now is like try to kind of get through the day and try to get rest and take care of your body and then get ready for the next day and then I feel like we've tried to be really mindful of like taking days off and giving them rest and trying to do, what's best to make our bodies feel good. So I think that's going to be important. We obviously don't have any bye weeks left. If anything, now with the schedule change, we're kind of cramming things in a little bit more. So we really just have to kind of pay attention to like, okay, how are we getting enough rest? Are we taking care of ourselves? What can we do to, feel good and stuff like that? So just one game at a time.
Yeah, when I saw like the schedule, and then new schedule changes, and I looked at, I'm like, that's 4 games in 7 days. That's a lot of games, a lot of traveling, because you're in Arlington right now, then you travel back home from New Mexico State, and then you're back on the road up to Orem to face off against UVU. You won very close in New Mexico to start off conference play. What is the strategy going into the game versus the Aggies Thursday night? Thursday night.
So that game is actually at 3. It's going to be a doubleheader. The men play that night, so that'll be kind of exciting. I think they're playing really well. I know they just dropped a game to GCU yesterday, but they're playing really well. They've won, I don't know how many in a row going into that last game, but they're a dangerous team. Super athletic, great. We really struggled to rebound with them. They crashed the boards really, really hard. So that's something that we just have to continue to practice on. And we talked about it before our last game. I think the rebounding wins or loses you games. And so that's a game that if we aren't really conscientious about boxing out and going and get the rebound, then we're going to be, it's going to be really tough. Yeah. But with that being said, we're really just focused on tomorrow, trying not to look too far ahead and just really focused on tomorrow. We got a big one here in Arlington, so we got to be ready to go.
Yeah. Not that much teams go, 10-0 conference play. How would it feel just to get that win tomorrow? And this question could go to any one of y'all. How would it feel to go 10-0 in conference play?
I just think 10-0 is like super huge, and so we're super excited to be where we're at, but it's not like our end goal. We want to keep pushing forward, but like she said, just taking one game at a time and getting the dub.
Nice. Awesome. What has your guys' favorite memory been on the road? If it's been a team bonding activity or maybe throwing a prank on a teammate, what's been your favorite memory on the road?
I feel like we'll look back and laugh at this trip a lot, honestly. It's been kind of a mess, but it's been kind of fun.
Yeah, it's been a good experience.
It's just random stuff, like I don't know, random day-to-day stuff, nothing that crazy happening, but
we have a good time. I think since COVID, I feel like it's really changed in that we don't go out to eat as much anymore. We do a lot of stuff in in the hotel or whatever, so they're spending a lot of time together, which is kind of nice. And I feel like we're just getting a little bit more rest being on the road the way we travel now. But this road trip, in my 20 years that I've been doing this is probably one of the wildest experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
We were at the airport waiting for a bus, and coaching staff was at the store picking up pillows and blankets so that we could sleep comfortably on a bus for 8 hours and try to get some rest so that we can play a game tomorrow. So it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah. When first, I saw the game was postponed due to weather and, ice storms in Texas, I was thinking, oh, it's just like sleet. It's what we get here in Cedar City on the daily. And I had a good friend of mine explain it to me. Shout out to Lance Reary. And, he was like, no, when they have ice storms there, the raindrop is automatically freeze to whatever is out there. So they're not worried about the roads that much. They're worried about electricity and the power line snapping and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely just a crazy events for you guys. And next question, probably be, how do you all just keep a fresh mindset, especially now with this road trip being extended so much more longer?
I think it is just day by day, and I think we do a good job of keeping each other up, and the coaches do a great job of helping us, just remember one game at a time, 5 minutes at a time, and doing awesome things, getting us blankets and pillows, like Tracy just said, to, try to stay refreshed, some extra hydration. Our trainer does what she can to keep us healthy and not too sore. So I think everyone just tries their best to stay positive and take it 1 minute at a time.
Next question to Ashley here. What has been your favorite game so far you've played in this season?
I don't even know. I think probably the Utah Valley game was pretty fun. Just because I think it helped me be more calm and confident when I got in a little more. And so it's helped my mindset not be as nervous. And it was obviously a fun rivalry game to win, so it was awesome.
Nice. Who is your favorite teammate to like, bunk with on the road?
It's a good question.
For everyone.
For the three players, yeah.
I can't pick a favorite. I love all
Yeah.
girls. Like
So
everyone has different personalities, so it's always like different, but it's always a good time.
Nice. All right. Any shout outs from you guys? Anyone you want to shout out?
Better get your dad, Ash.
yeah. Definitely watching this, so, yeah.
If my parents saw, hi.
Yeah.
Nice. Any shout outs from you, coach?
Oh no, just hopefully, I mean, I know I don't want to look ahead, but New Mexico is gonna be a 3 o'clock game on a Thursday, so
Yeah.
the more fans we can get there, the better. It's gonna be a tough game for us, so I think it'll be a good matchup, so Thunder Crew, SUU students, whoever can be there, we would love to have you.
Awesome. And also, I've heard that game's a retro game. You guys debuting any new uniforms for the retro game?
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah. We have some awesome uniforms that will be showing that night.
Nice. And that's the reason right there. SU students, SU community, pull it to the game. Watch some women's basketball and see their new uniforms on display. And
Yeah.
that is all it from me for this episode of the Thunderbirds Coaches Show. For me, Anthony Colasuno, Tracy Sanders, Lizzie Williamson, Alexa Lord, and Ashley Banks. That is a wrap. And thank you guys so much for joining us on the show. And good luck tomorrow against UTA.
Thank you.
So much.